Namaste. Lovely seeing you. So, I thought that we might focus on inversions today. And inversions are actually great for you because they give you a chance to clear your head. Inversions are any yoga pose that puts your heart above your head. So, let's try and get right into it. We're going to put our feet shoulder width apart, grab our elbows, and we're going to start bending very gently, don't rush yourself, into the ragdoll pose. As you're coming down there, you're probably feeling your whole back side of the body elongating. Let your head sink below and between your shoulders. Once you feel the nice stretch, the back side of your legs and your lower back, it can start swaying ever so gently from side to side to deepen the bend and thus deepen the stretch. Sway at your own pace. Watch the back of your legs. They're gonna probably tell you that this is enough for today by giving you a measure of discomfort here. Once you start feeling discomfort, you can just let your hands drop. Get on your palms. And now we're gonna try and consciously relax our shoulders. Keep the crown of your head pointing downwards. And take a couple of breaths in here before starting to walk your hands forward so that you can come into your down dog. If it's hard for you to do the down dog, just attempt most of the surface of your foot to touch the ground. I'm going to spend a couple of breaths here as well. And we're going to keep walking our hands forward so that we can bend our elbows and sink down even lower. We're going to spend some time here as well. A couple of breaths or more if you feel like it. And we're going to start walking our hands back. Bend your legs if it helps as you're walking back. And then once you're in the bend, grab your toes. Put your fingers under your toes for a second. Relax your lower arms. Take a breath here. And then start slowly coming up. You don't want to do it fast. We're going to come up and spend a moment absolutely motionless here to give our blood the chance to come back from our head to the rest of the body. And after that, we're going to put our feet together for a second. We're gonna grab our buttocks and start sliding our hands over the back side of our legs as we bend down, with the objective to grab your ankles or to grab your heels. Now tuck your face as close to your knees as you can. To deepen the bend, you can actually hug yourself over the back side of your head, of your legs. And just come as close to your knees as you can here. And we're going to spend a couple of breaths here before letting our hands drop. We're going to come to the ground with our palms and start slowly spreading our feet as wide apart as is comfortable. Come to rest on our hands. Find a good position for them. Feel free to shift and shuffle as you're looking for a good position. Make sure that your toes are pointing slightly outwards. And after that, what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and walk our hands slightly forward so that we can rest on our forearms, get down on them and just rest. And you'll see your feet sliding ever so gently apart. And that's a good thing. And once you're done, you can turn your knee slightly. Come to your knee. And then come up, keeping one of your legs straight. We're going to turn to come to the pigeon pose. And coming to the pigeon pose, we're going to lower our head once again. And spend a restorative moment here. Before coming back into full pigeon and sliding our bent legs backward so that we are on our hands and knees. And after you're here, find a good stable position for your hands. And we're going to come down to the child pose here. Do it slow. Try to have the crown of your head touch the ground. And when it does, we're going to bend our elbows ever so slightly and lift our buttocks off the mat. And breathe here as well. Before coming up, back to our hands and knees. And we're going to turn into the staff pose. And from the staff pose, we're going to come down on the mat and do some prep work for the mother of all inversions, the combination of the shoulder stand and the plow pose. In order to be able to do that safely, you need to prepare your spine. So we're going to start by putting the soles of our feet together and moving both of the legs to the left. We're going to extend our arms over the head, put our palms together, and move our arms, both of them, to the left as well, to come to the banana pose, to give a nice stretch and curve to our spine. And a couple breaths here, come back to the center. And move both of our legs to the right and both of our arms to the right as well, to curve like a banana into the other direction. Before coming back into the central position. And we're going to put our arms parallel to our body and start bending our knees to rest both of our feet on the mat. Let your knees fall slightly apart. Find a stable position there. Take a couple breaths and make sure that your lower back and your shoulder blades are in contact with the mat. And after we've ensured that, we're going to lift our feet, grab our knees, and pull our knees as close to the chest as possible. Take a breath here. And notice that your sacrum is floating in the air right now. And just feel more elevated than you normally are when you're lying down. We're going to let go of our knees and grab our toes and lift the sacrum even more, coming to the happy baby pose and the soles of our feet facing the sky. Let your knees fall slightly apart. Feel your sacrum not in contact with your mat. This is a very cozy pose and a good hip opener, so if you want to spend more time here, you most definitely can. But if you're just doing the prep work for your shoulder stand, we're going to let go of our toes, hug ourselves under our knees, and just spend some time with our sacrum still floating in the air and our legs extended to the sky. Relax, because we're not going to lower our sacrum to the ground. Instead, we're going to put our hands on the mat and roll our spine slightly up and backwards to come to the shoulder stand. Support yourself with your hands around your hip bones, elbows pointing slightly toward the sides, and hold it there for however many breaths you need. I'm going to do 5 here. And then I have 2 options. I can just start rolling on my back to come to the plow. Rub your my hips, my palms on the touch the ground above my head. I'm going to come out of this for a moment. Go back to the shoulder stand. If you don't want to do the plow, another good inversion is just to bend your legs on the shoulder stand and get them as close to your face as you can. Let's spend a moment here. And then I'm just going to roll into the seated position and spend a moment here completely motionless. Again, giving my blood some chance to return back to the rest of my body. If you want to do some head clearing, do any combination of forward bends, standing forward bends that is, and then do the shoulder stand plow combination. And you should be good to go. Just notice what's going on in your head right now. Look at the world around you. It doesn't look too different, but it certainly looks fresher. For some people, it's brighter. That's what the inversions do for you. They clear your perspective. We're going to stop here. I'm going to say namaste and thank you for doing this practice with me.